In this video, I'll show you how to automate a complete purchase order workflow in Excel using VBA, including form submission, PDF export, and emailing, without needing any third-party tools. We will cover filling a PO form with user-friendly controls, saving data to a master sheet, automatically generate PO numbers, exporting the PO to PDF, email vendors directly from Excel, styling the user form to look clean and professional. You can download the sheet plus the style form code from my link in the description. Let's get started. Okay, we have a quick overview of the sheet here. Purchase orders. This is where our data will be entered from the form. Each individual time we click submit, data goes into this sheet. Then we have the vendor emails. That is part of the drop down. We can select vendor. Then we have the PO purchase order template here that will be filled in from the form. Go to Developer tab, Visual Basic or Alt F11, and insert UserForm. Now the first we're gonna name is the name of the UserForm. We call it FRM, short for form, PO form, and in the caption we can call it purchase order form. Then we're going to set the height to 510 and the width to 400. And then we're going to have our labels and our controls. We're going to need 11 labels. So I'm just going to speed this up to make the tutorial go more smooth. So we have our purchase number, date, department, vendor, quantity, unit price, amount, status, approved by, whose manager or director who approved it, date of approval, and notes. So now we just need some text boxes and combo boxes. Two text boxes for purchase number and date. Then we'll have a combo box for department and combo box for vendor. Then we will have a text box for quantity. We can make that a little bit smaller. Unit price, amount, and amount will be automatically calculated in our form. Then we have a combo box more for status and a combo box for approved. Maybe make them a little bit longer. Also these. And then we have two text boxes for date of approval and notes. We'll make the notes go longer here. Then we have a list box. This is here. We're going to store all our data once we enter it. You can see an overview in this list box. Then we have another list box. We can make that a little bit smaller. This is here our overview of all our purchase. This is where all our purchase orders goes into, so we can select it. Then we have 5 buttons. Our clear button. Our submit button. Then we have 3 a little bit more down here. This is our preview button. Then we have export PDF. And send email button. That's all our things. And now we just need to name them correctly. So the first text box is called txt PO number. The next one is called txt date. Our first combo box is called CMB department. Then we have a CMB vendor. Then we have txt QTY for quantity. Then we have txt unit price, txt amount, CMB status, CMB approved by, then we have txt approved date, txt notes. Then we have our LST preview, LST POs. Then we have BTN clear, BTN submit, BTN preview, BTN export PDF, BTN send email. And that's it. Now we can copy paste the style code in. You can download the resource file, including the sheets and the style form code. Link in the description. Copy click here on the form. And now we're in the UserForm click event, but we need to go to the UserForm initialize. You can delete this. Copy paste the code in that style the form to give it a more modern look. And then we write style form and test it. And it looks better compared to if we don't style the code here. You see this looks a little bit boring. So let's have the style code here. Then it looks better. You can also move these boxes and give it a little bit more space in between. But for now, we're just gonna make it stay like this. Now we're gonna keep building our UserForm initialize code here to set some settings for the form. We're gonna start by positioning the form in the center of Excel window. We're gonna do that by writing me.startup position equals 0. And then we're gonna do me.left equal application.left plus application.width divided by 2. minus me.width divided by 2. Like so. Copy paste it and change it to .top equal application dot top application height divided by 2 minus me dot height divided by 2. Now we're going to set the height to 510 and me dot width to 400. Exactly how we set it manually in the form. The reason why I want it in the code as well is sometimes you can have a bigger screen where the percentage is higher or lower, so it will mess up the user form and it will look weird. So this way we're forcing it to pop up in the middle and have the right height and width. Now we're going to populate static drop down lists. So we're going to write cmd department dot list equal, then use an array and write finance, comma, HR, comma, IT, comma, sales, comma, operations, and parentheses. Then we're going to do the same with cmb status dot list equal array, write pending, comma, approved, comma, rejected, cmb approved by the list equal array manager A, comma, manager B, comma, director X. You can fit this to make it fit your needs. And then we're going to load vendors from sheet or fall back to a default list. So we'll dim vendors as variant. Then we're going to set vendors equal get vendors from sheet. Make parentheses here. Then we're going to write if is empty, vendors, then cmb vendor dot list array vendor A, comma, vendor B, comma, vendor C. Else cpm vendor dot list equal vendors. So our default, if it's empty, we have these three, vendor A, B, and C. Otherwise, it will populate from the sheet. End if. Then we're going to set initial field values. So we're going to set txt amount dot locked equal true. We don't want the user to be able to write in the amount because that's going to be doing by automating the calculation. Unit price multiplied quantity. Then we're going to set txt date dot value equal format date, comma, dd mm yy and for instance, I'm going to set txt approved date dot value equal blank, and set CMB status dot value equal pending. So the combo box by default is set to pending, but we can change it to approved or rejected. And then we're going to initialize other form features that we haven't coded yet. So these will be defined in our next step of the video. So we're going to have them comment out here, load PO list, and generate next PO number, and update preview. Now we just need to code the get vendors from sheet function inside of the UserForm. Otherwise we will get an error. So we can just write that below and write private function get vendors from sheet as variant. Oops. As variant in function, and write dim ws as worksheet, comma, last row as long, set ws sheets vendor emails, last row equal ws.cells, ws rows.count, comma 1 dot end Excel up the row, and write if last row is smaller than 2, then get vendors from sheet equal array. We're gonna use the array we've set above. Else get vendors from sheet equal application dot transpose ws dot range a2 to a and last row dot value end if. And now it should be working. Just to test what we just did, we set the date here and set the status to pending. We fill in the combo boxes, and now we'll write the code generate next PO number. We can just write it here. Private sub generate next PO number, and let's just activate the code. And then we're going to dim our variables, dim ws as worksheet. We're going to dim last row as long. And we're going to dim last PO as string. And we're going to dim new PO number as long. And then we're going to set ws equal sheets and write purchase orders. It's going to read the last generated PO number for that sheet. Last row equal ws.cells, ws.rows.count, comma 1 dot end Excel up dot row, and then we'll do a if last row is smaller than 2, then there's no existing PO. That will mean txt PO number dot value will be the first PO number, meaning PO on line 1001. Else, that would mean last row is not smaller than 2. So that would be the width, that would be the first PO number, or 10 PO numbers, or how many PO numbers we have. In that case, we will use the last PO equal ws.cells last row, comma 1 dot value. For example, PO 1005, then the next one will be PO 1006, and so on. Then we're just gonna extract the numeric part, the number from it. We're gonna do if ln last PO is greater than 3, then new PO number equal CLNG mid last PO, comma 4 plus 1. Else new PO number equal 1001, the fallback in case the format is bad. And if, then we're gonna write txt PO number dot value equal PO and format new PO number, comma 0000, and if. All right, now we're gonna load the POs. So we're gonna write private sub load PO list and write dim ws as worksheet, dim last row as long, dim I as long. Then we're gonna set ws sheets equals sheets purchase for us. Like so. Last row equal ws.cells, ws.rows count, 1 dot end Excel up dot row, and set lst POs dot clear, to clear the list box, and do a for I to the last row. If ws.cells I, 1 dot value is not equal blank, then lst POs dot add item ws.cells I, 1 dot value, and if next I. And now we can activate this code. We can take a test if it corrects. Load PO, and it corrected. It's not showing the POs yet because we don't have anything entered yet. You can see here the sheet is blank, but once we fill it in, we can take a test here. PO let's just have 2 tests here so you can see it's working. Now we have it here, and the idea is when you click on it, it auto populates the form. So you can see it. And preview, export, and send email. Or you can write a new one. Now, the next thing we're gonna write the code to is once we fill in the details, instantly we want it to be populated into this preview list box. That's what we're gonna code right now. Nothing happens, you can see, but the idea is that the information gets directly into this as we enter it. This is the update preview code we're gonna write now. So we're gonna write private sub update preview. Then we're gonna activate it here, make some space, lst preview dot clear, lst preview dot add item, right, PO colon space end of string, and txt PO number dot value. And let's copy paste this down, and then we can correct it after. So we have our list box preview items in it. So we just need to change the text here to date colon txt date, and the next one department, CMB department, vendor, CMB vendor. And let's speed this up because I think you get the idea. And the submitted by, we will use something called envian username, which is basically the Windows username you've logged in on. End sub, and now we can test it. You see here, it's already filled in. And I can see a mistake here. PO number is shown 2 times. Let's get rid of this. And now it looks better. So now we just need to update preview, put it into every box. So every time there's a change, it instantly updates. Put it into all the boxes. And now you can see we put it into everything. It updates with the finance, vendor A, or B, C, D, whatever we select here. Quantity 2, unit price 100. We haven't calculated, so it update the amount, and we have locked it, so we can't really test that out right now. But approved or rejected or pending, confirmed, approved by manager A, And we can have a date here as well. Let's say the 3rd of December 2025, and write some notes here. Let's do the amount calculation here. That's the next part. Let's double click on the form, and then we can just write somewhere around here. Let's scroll down a little bit. And then we're going to write private sub, update amount, if is numeric, txt qty the value, and is numeric txt unit price dot value. Then basically we're checking if it's a number that is entered. Then txt amount dot value equal format cdbl txt qty dot value multiplied. I'm kind of lazy, so I'm just going to copy this. Multiplied cdbl txt unit price comma hashtag comma hashtag 0.0 to set the format, else txt amount the value equal blank, end if. And we can just update the amount in the quantity. Every time there's a change in quantity, we update the amount. And every time there's a change in txt unit price, we also update the amount. So 2 in quantity, 100 or 1000 in unit price, and you can see it instantly updates. And a small adjustment here, approval is not spelled with an E at the end. Let's remove that. One small detail we also can change here is the date format. Instead of writing 12 here, or 11 or 10 or whatever the month is, we can actually also change it so it have the month stamp in it. Meaning, if we change here in the UserForm initialize, instead of writing write MMM, and now it will write December, or November if it's 11, January if it's 01, and so on. Write the first 3 letters of the month. That just looks better overall. Alright, the next thing we're going to code is whenever we have a selection in the LST POs, it should populate the form. So we double click here and go to the change event and write the following: dim ws as worksheet, dim I as long, dim selected PO as string, and set selected PO equal LST POs dot value. If selected PO equal blank, then exit sub. So if we don't have any selection, exit sub. Otherwise, set ws equal sheets purchase orders for I2 to ws to sales ws rows dot count, comma 1 dot end Excel up dot row. So basically go to the last row. If ws dot cells I comma 1 dot value equal selected PO, then exit for end if and next I. And then we're going to write the things inside. We're going to write txt PO number dot value equal ws dot cells I comma 1 dot value, and copy paste this a few times. Change this to 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next thing we have is the txt date, txt date, txt date, CMB department, CMB vendor, txt quantity, then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have unit price here and amount, and the combo box status, approved date, get this from column 10 and column 11. Then we have the CMB approved by, and finally the txt notes. And then we update preview. We're just missing an E here, so now it finds it correctly. So now we're going to code the submit button. Double click here, and then we're going to write if not validate form, then exit sub. Then we're going to dim ws as worksheet. We're going to dim last row as long, dim I as long. Then we're going to dim found row as long. And we're going to dim current PO as string. Then we're going to set ws equal sheets purchase orders. And we're going to set last row equal ws the cells, ws dot rows dot count, comma 1 dot end Excel up dot row, and current PO equal txt PO number dot value, found row equals 0, and then we're going to check if PO already exists. For I equal 2 to the last row. If ws dot cells I comma 1 dot value equal current PO, then found row equal 1, exit for, and if next I. If not found, use next empty row. We're going to do that with if found row equals 0, then found row equal last row plus 1, and if. Then we're gonna write the data into the sheet, and we're gonna do that with ws dot cells found row comma 1 dot value equal blank. We're just gonna set it blank here to copy paste it down, so we have all the rows. Like so, and change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then we're going to set it to txt PO number dot value and set it to txt date dot value, CMB department dot value. We're going to use envy username to get the Windows username to see who submitted the purchase order. Enter. Then we're going to do end with, do load PO list and a message box. Purchase order saved successfully, comma VB information. Then we just need to make some changes and make some mistakes. It's not found row equal 1, but I, and if found row equals 0, then let's spell purchase order correctly. Now we're gonna write the module to validate the form. So we're gonna write private function validate form as boolean, and we're gonna write if txt PO number equal blank or slash CMB department equal blank or slash CMB vendor equal blank or slash txt uty equal blank or slash txt unit price equal blank. Then message box, please complete all required fields, comma VB information, validate form equal false, else validate form equal true, and if. So in case we try to submit, this message pop up, please complete all required fields. That's what we just coded here. So make sure that we fill in all the fields. We can just run a test here. Date of approval. Let's say today. Some notes. Purchase order saved successfully. And we can see here. It also updates it. Now we need to code the clear button. we're gonna write txt PO number dot value equal blank. We're gonna set txt date dot value equal format date, comma dd mmm YYYY. So set it to the today's date with the date format. CMB department, the value equal blank. CMB vendor, the value equal blank. TXT QTY, the value equal blank. TXT unit price, the value equal blank. TXT amount dot value equal blank. CMB status dot value pending, set that to pending by default. TXT approved date dot value equal blank. CMB approved by dot value equal blank. TXT notes dot value equal blank. And set LSTPOs dot value equal blank. And then we're gonna write generate next PO number, update preview. So once we filled in all these fields, it clears it and set this to pending and today's date and the next PO number, as we can see here. Now we just need to code the three last bottom here. Now we're gonna code the preview button and we're gonna write a code to it below it that's called private sub field PO template from form. And then we're gonna have it in here, fill PO template from form. And then we're gonna do sheets PO template dot activate. So it jumps to the other sheet here. And once we've coded the fill in form, once we've coded the form, it will populate it with the details from here. So we're gonna write the following: with sheets PO template dot range B2 dot value equal txt PO number dot value. Copy paste it down. So this will be B3, B4, 5, 6, 7. This is the txt date. Then we have the CMB department and the CMB vendor. TXT UTY, TXT unit price, then we have B8, 9, and 10. This is the format currency, TXT amount, the value, comma 2. Then we're gonna have the CMB status in B9. Then we will have the envian username, so after 10 we have 12, 13, and 15. We have the CMB approved by dot value. Then we have the txt approved date dot value. And then we have the txt notes dot value. And then we're gonna do end with. So this is how it is. It works. We fill in this information. Some notes here. Submit. Purchase order saved successfully. Preview. Then it jumps to this page. It was on this page already. And it fills in this form. And then we can click on it and it updates here inside the form. And we can update preview and see it here in the sheet. The next is export PDF and send email. And we're going to code the export PDF button. So we're going to start with fill PO template from form. Then we'll dim PDF path as string. And then we're going to set PDF path equal this workbook dot path backslash and backslash and txt PO number dot value and dot PDF sheets PO template dot export as fixed format type colon equal LX type PDF comma file name colon equal PDF path comma quality colon equal LX quality standard. Let's see it corrected. Everything is missing PDF path. We need to set it here and then it corrects it. Then we'll have message box PDF exported to colon space and PDF path comma VB information. So this way, let's just fill some information in. This is approved by the director today. Send direct to address, submit. And we have the preview here. Export PDF exported to this workbook that we have here. And here we have the PDF. Let's move on and send it to the email. Let's double click here. And then we're going to write the email code. We're going to start with fill PO template from form. Then we'll dim PDF path as string. Then we'll set PDF path equal this workbook dot path and backslash and txt PO number dot value and dot PDF. Then we're going to do sheets PO template dot export, and if we should avoid writing it again, we can just grab it from here. No need to write it again. Sheets PO template export as fixed format type Excel type PDF, file name PDF path, quality Excel quality standard. If the directory PDF path equal blank, then message box PDF not found, email not sent, comma VB information, exit sub, and if dim out app as object, out mail as object, set out app equal create object, use outlook.application, set out mail equal out app dot create item 0 with outmail 2.2 equal get vendor email CMB vendor dot value dot subject equal purchase order and txt purchase number dot value dot body equal attached is the purchase order for your reference. And VB CRLF and VB CRLF and slash PO number and string and txt PO number dot value and VB CRLF and underscore amount and txt amount the value and VB CLF and underscore submitted by and string and environ username dot attachments dot add PDF path dot display, so have the email displayed instead of sending directly, and the width. And let's spell width correctly up here. And then we have a message box. Message box, email opened in Outlook, comma, VB information. And that's it. Before we test it, we need to do some small changes. It's not recognizing this because we haven't coded the function yet. We're going to take a look at that. And then this is called VB_CRLF, like so. And now we're going to code the function get vendor mail. So we're going to write private function. Let's just copy paste it in. Email vendor get. So now we have it, and you can also see it changed it up here. Get vendor email, it recognizes now because we have it down here. Then we're gonna write dim WS as worksheet, comma RNG as range, comma cell as range, set WS equal sheets, vendor emails, set RNG equal WS.range, A2 to A, and WS cells, WS rows count, comma 1 dot end Excel up the row. So basically let it go all the way to the last row. For each cell in RNG, if cell.value equal vendor, then get vendor email equal cell offset 0,1 dot value, and then we can do an exit function, and if next cell get vendor email equal fallback at example.com, so have a fallback email in case we can't find an email in the vendor email sheet. That's it. And we will have to write vendor as string in order to make it work. All right, now it's ready to test it. And we can have a button here inside. Let's do a shave here, and we can call it open PO form. Let's keep the green theme here. Center the text. Write a module. Insert a module. Sub open form. FRM PO form dot show. Right click, assign macro, open form. All right, we just need to change the send email button. Before we do the display, we need to fully close the UserForm, otherwise we will get an error. We're going to do that before display. Then we're going to do unload me. This is how we're going to close the UserForm down. And now we're ready to test it. We open the form. We have the purchase number ending with 4, because the last one was ending with 3. Today's date. IT in the department. Vendor A. quantity 5, unit price 120, so it calculates it to 600 correctly. Pending, change it to approved. You can see the list box updates instantly. Approved by manager A. Date of approval 6th of December 2025. Notes, urgent order for laptops. Submit. Purchase order saved successfully, and we have the details below here. Then we do preview, it jumps to the template and fills it in. Then we can export it and send it by email. Email opened in Outlook. And here we have it, a small email with vendor A, email, purchase order number 4, 1004. Attached is the purchase order for your reference. PO number, amount, submitted by Mollis, by name. And we have the PDF here that is attached very nicely. What we also built was this list box where you can load all the details in the form, but you can preview it anyways. Let's preview number 1 and then fills in number 1 in the template. You can convert it to PDF and send it directly. That's it. You now have a working purchase order system inside Excel with automation, PDF export, and email integration. Want this tailored for your own workflow? I've built custom Excel tools for small businesses. Dashboards, approvals, inventory systems, you name it. Let's talk. You can book a automation request on my portfolio page. Link is in the description. We can build it way more customized and way more advanced to fit your needs. Just fill in the form on my page and I will reach out to you shortly after. And then thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.